3. Mrs. Wolf. I am alone, Virginia thinks, as the man and woman continue up the hill and she continues down. She is, of course, not alone, not in a way anyone else would recognize, and yet at this moment, walking through wind toward the lights of the quadrant, she can feel the nearness of the old devil. What else to call it? And she knows she will be utterly alone if and when the devil chooses to appear again. The devil is a headache. The devil is a voice inside a wall. The devil is a fin breaking through dark waves. The devil is the brief, twittering nothing that was a thrush's life. The devil sucks away all the beauty from the world, all the hope, and what remains when the devil has finished is a realm of the living dead, joyless, suffocating. Virginia feels right now a certain tragic grandeur, for the devil is many things, but he is not petty, not sentimental. He sees with a lethal, intolerable truth. Right now, walking, free of her headache, free of the voices, she can face the devil, but she must keep walking. She must not turn back. When she reaches the quadrant, she turns toward the rail station. She will go, she thinks, to London. She will simply go to London like a Nellie on her errand, although Virginia's errand will be the trip itself, the half hour on the train, the disembarking at Paddington, the possibility of walking down a street into another street and another after that. What a lark! What a plunge! It seems that she can survive, she can prosper, if she has London around her. If she disappears for a while into the enormity of it, brash and brazen now under a sky empty of threat, all the uncurtained windows, the traffic, men and women going lightly by in evening clothes, the smells of wax and gasoline or perfume, as someone, somewhere, plays a piano, as horns bleat and dogs bay, as the whole racket carnival turns and turns, blazing, shimmering, as Big Ben strikes the hours, which fall in leaden circles over the partygoers and the omnibuses, over Stone Queen Victoria seated before the palace on her shelves of geraniums, over the parks that lie sunken in their shadowed solemnity behind black iron fences. If she does this, if she gets on the train that leaves in, 23 minutes, and goes to London, and walks in London, and catches the last train back, Leonard will be insane with worry. If she calls him, he'll be furious. He'll demand that she return immediately. He'll suggest that if she becomes exhausted and overwhelmed, if she falls ill again, she will have brought it on herself. And here, of course, is the dilemma. He's entirely right and horribly wrong at the same time. She's better, she is safer if she rests in Richmond. If she does not speak too much, write too much, feel too much, if she does not travel impetuously to London and walk through its streets, and yet she is dying this way. She's gently dying on a bed of roses. Better, really, to face the fin in the water than to live in hiding, as if the war was still on. She buys a ticket from the red-faced man behind the grill. She goes and sits, very erect, on a wooden bench. 18 minutes still. She sits on the bench, staring straight ahead until she can't bear it any longer. She stands and walks back out of the station. If she strolls 1 block along Kew Road and strolls back, she will be just in time for her train. She is passing a fragmented golden reflection in the gold name of the butcher shop suspended on the glass over a lamb's carcass when she sees Leonard walking toward her. She thinks for a moment that she would turn and run back to the station. She thinks she will escape some sort of catastrophe. She does not do any such thing. She continues walking forward toward Leonard, who has clearly come out in a hurry, still wearing his leather slippers, and who looks exceedingly thin, gaunt in his vest and corduroy jacket, his open collar. Although he has come after her like a constable or proctor, a figure of remonstrance, she is impressed by how small he seems in slippers on Kew Road, how middle-aged and ordinary. She sees him briefly as a stranger might see him, merely another of the many men who walk on streets. She is sad for him and strangely moved. She manages an ironic smile.
"Mr. Wolfe,"
she says,
"what an unexpected pleasure."
He says,
"Would you like to tell me what you're doing, please?"
"I'm taking a walk. Does it seem mysterious?"
"Only when you vanished from the house just before dinner without a word."
"I didn't like to interrupt you. I knew you were working."
"I was."
"Well then, you mustn't disappear. I don't like it." "Leonard, you're acting very peculiar." He scowls.
"Am I? I don't know what it is really. I went to look for you and you weren't there. I thought something's happened. I don't know why."
She imagines him searching the house for her, checking the garden. She thinks of him rushing out, past the body of the thrush, through the gate, down the hill. She is suddenly immensely sorry for him. She should, she knows, tell him that his premonition was not entirely wrong, that she had in fact staged an escape of sorts, and had in fact meant to disappear if only for a few hours.
"Nothing's happened,"
she says,
"just an airing along the avenues. It's such a night." "I was so worried,"
he says. They stand together in a brief, unaccustomed silence. They look into the window of the butcher's shop, where they are reflected, brokenly, in the golden letters. Leonard says,
"We must go back for Nellie's joint. We have approximately 15 minutes before she goes on a rampage and burns the house down."
Virginia hesitates. But London, she still wants desperately to get on the train.
"You must be hungry,"
she says.
"I am, a bit. You surely are too."
She thinks suddenly of how frail men are, how full of terror. It seems at that moment that she straddles an invisible line, one foot on this side, the other on that. On this side is stern, worried Leonard, the row of closed shops, the dark rise that leads back to Hogarth House. On the other side is a train. On the other side is London, and all London implies about freedom, about kisses, all the possibilities of art and the sly dark glitter of madness. Mrs. Dalloway, she thinks, is a house on a hill where a party is about to begin. Death is a city below, which Mrs. Dalloway lives and fears and which she wants, in some way, to walk into so deeply she will never find her way back again. Virginia says,
"It's time for us to move back to London, don't you think?" "I'm not at all sure,"
he answers.
"I've been better for a long while now. We can't haunt the suburbs forever, can we?"
"Let's discuss it over dinner, shall we?"
"All right then."
"Do you want so much to live in London?" he asks.
"I do,"
she says.
"I wish you were otherwise. I wish I were happy with the quiet life."
"Come along," she says. She keeps a ticket in her bag. She will never mention to Leonard that she had planned on fleeing, even for a few hours. As if he were the one in need of care and comfort, as if he were the one in danger. Virginia links her arm in his and gives his elbow an affectionate squeeze. They start up the hill to Hogarth House, arm in arm, like any middle-aged couple going home.